Welcome to This Week in the Division 2, your only source for all the news, posts, build guides and more. Let's be honest with each other. There are a shit ton of Division 2 YouTube videos released every week, far too many to keep up with them all. So don't, because I'm going to do it for you. In this video I'm going to run through every Division 2 video released this week. In the description below I will leave a link to every video I watch so that it's easy for you to go straight to the ones that interest you. And to make this video as easy as possible to use, here are the timestamps for each section. You can also use the chapters below to jump straight to them. Now, I didn't watch every live stream or let's play video, but technically there are too fucking many of them. But look out for the names of them all at the end of the video. The Division franchise is kinda popping off right now. The Brooklyn DLC generated a lot of interest, and not just in the community. Just this week I came across a video from Gaming Bolt on the 15 things you need to know before you buy the Brooklyn DLC. For those of you who haven't come across that channel before, Gaming Bolt has 1.3 million subscribers and covers the entire gaming universe. So getting onto their radar is a big deal. But even more than that, the video has performed much better than other videos they put out around the same time, even those covering Grand Theft Auto 6. I also happened to catch Moxie live streaming the Division 2, and Moxie has 451,000 subscribers and is most well known for his coverage of other looter shooters and looter shooter adjacent games like the Borderlands franchise. Now 2 weeks ago I talked about the Battle of Brooklyn DLC and how it was clearly aimed at getting new and returning players into the game. Anecdotally from this coverage, it seems to be working even before the DLC launches. And Steam player counts are actually slightly up, the usual caveat when looking at these. It excludes consoles and PC players who use the Ubisoft launcher, which was all of them pre-January 2023. So the thing to look out for is movements rather than the totals. The movement is nearly a doubling of players since the April 23 livestream, which also comes through in the minimum, average and peak daily players. And more than that, these new players are loving all of the changes the devs have made to the game over the last 12 to 18 months. The Division 2 sits at an interesting point in time. The game is probably in the best shape it has ever been in from a new player perspective, albeit more needs to be done. A friend of mine recently joined the game, finished the campaign and got to level 40. When you see the entire DC map and all there is available, it is overwhelming, and I can imagine that is the point where many people leave. Now the seasonal journey does give new players some guidance on some of the basics of the game, but I hope that in further work Massive are doing on the new player onboarding in Year 7, they add more structure, guidance and lore. The legacy manhunts are all in the game but well hidden, so that most new players won't even know that they are there. How about building on the in-game timeline that is there so players can work through the Manning National Zoo, the Pentagon and Coney Island in the right order so that the story makes sense. All of these things will help to keep players in the game. This surge in popularity that will peak when the DLC launches will die away quickly if there isn't content to keep new players busy. Something that I hope that Massive are working on now. Oh, and Massive, please fix PvP. It is the one big thing that new PC players don't like due to the cheaters and hackers that are destroying it on that platform. The end of Season 6 brings with it something that few hardcore gamers ever experience: a climax. Yes, the Climax Mission went live this week and content creators were orgasmic about even the faintest whiff of new content. From what you needed to do to prepare for the Climax Mission, how to complete it, the best builds for both solo and group play, the exotic reward Birdie's quick fix backpack, the obligatory duck puzzle, the hunter mask, and how to overcome the almost inevitable bugs that came with it. I've completed the Climax Mission and overall I was pretty whelmed by it. It lacked any real mechanics, was pretty easy except for the hunters when playing solo, and featured nothing new. I get that it is tough to keep these things fresh, but if Massive want the seasonal journey to be a major part of the endgame, they need to put more effort into these. Give us a spectacular set piece, some wow factor to the Climax Mission to make all that grinding of the same open world activities week after week feel worthwhile. Another week, another scandal. The stretch event went live this week with the surprise reveal when the patch notes were updated that the Brooklyn activation cache could include unobtainable exotics. Yes, the Eagle Bearer, Ravenous, Regulus, Ouroboros and Bighorn could be yours even without running the hardest content in the game. The Division community was divided on this though. Not surprisingly, those who had spent years farming for these previously were not happy, and those who hadn't, well, they thought it was a great idea. Well, to make matters worse, the community pretty quickly worked out that the option to buy levels for premium currency was still active. Yes, pay-to-win content has finally arrived in the game. The only problem being that in some countries this would result in massive running foul of anti-loot box rules, particularly in Japan where the odds of loot dropping from a loot box have to be disclosed. And when Massive took steps to address this, it came to light that the drop rate was 0.5% and the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars some whales had dropped was not looking like the best spend they could have made. Eventually Massive did shut off the ability to buy season pass levels, but this whole thing was just a bit of a clusterfuck. One bug with the stretch event rewards that is still in the game is the award of 999 exotic components. A number of videos have come out on how to activate this exploit. My view on all of this is that they should have never included the exotics in the stretch event. And this is coming from someone who doesn't have the Eagle Bearer or Regulus. One of the great things in World of Warcraft was seeing a player with an ultra rare item, like Baron Rivendare's mount. It was such a flex and really drove players to grind content just in case it would drop for them. Personally, I think that in the same way, raid exclusive weapons should stay raid exclusive. Make them special and give players a reason to grind for them. And it doesn't matter how old they are or how much they have been nerfed. It is what they represent more than anything. And pay to win is a no for me, so I'm glad that they shut this oversight down as quickly as they could. You do have to wonder though, if all of the additional content in the Chinese version of the game is due to the pay to win aspects of it. I would be interested to hear from Massive what it would cost us to bring some of that content to our version of the game. With the Battle for Brooklyn DLC only a few weeks away now, expect to see plenty of what you should do to prepare for videos between now and then. Some of these will be pretty obvious. The seasonal journey and the weekly scouts for example, which will be going away when the season ends. Players also need to be aware of the changes coming in Year 7. With the one-time award of scavenger points coming, you will want to max out SHD levels and spend all of your scavenger points before the season ends, presumably in order to get those 999 exotic components. There were a couple of final videos on the Year 7 PTS, most of which were covered by other creators last week. One that I think is worth checking out though is Dodd Regenboo's response to the many comments he received on his video about the Year 7 Season 1, in which he calls some of the new gear.
This is mind-bogglingly dumb.
Before we get into all the videos, a quick aside. YouTube's algorithm is fucking weird. Run the same search twice and you'll get different answers, and I found some videos just didn't appear. The same goes with this video. If you don't subscribe, you might never see any episode of it ever again. This week was pretty light on build guides. There were a handful for the Climax Mission and just a handful of other builds. Dispatch showcased how to set up and play a max thermal double dip build. Sergeant Greybeard put out solid Pestilence and one-shot sniper builds, and Anytime Gaming covered a support build with a nice bit of synergy in it. There was one pretty standard brand set PvP build from Ben Ricochet. Identity was the first to come up with a Birdie's quick fix build, which I can see will get more use in PvP than PvE, and Dr. Prescription put out a protection from elite build for those tanks out there. Finally, Rogue Gold and Nothing But Skills 2.0 put out a compendium of builds for you to have a look at. See you the same time next week.